Several new developments in South suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Dolton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while
This time, the issue extends beyond the mismanagement of public funds or hosting extravagant parties at the town's expense. The situation has deteriorated further as the so-called super mayor is now facing eviction. A lady with an annual income of $300,000 has failed to make her rent payments, now being 3 months overdue, amounting to a total of $3,350. If you are questioning how an individual with such a wage might neglect rent, be assured you are not alone in your confusion.
Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts.
This narrative continues to get very intriguing. Tiffany is not the only one responsible. Her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, is also listed on the lease. Consequently, how are two financially stable individuals, purportedly earning substantial incomes, unable to get a few $1,000s to maintain their residence? It is unsurprising that individuals are beginning to inquire whether this is a setup or if there are dubious activities occurring behind the scenes. We will explore these matters shortly. However, let us first review who Tiffany Henyard is and the reasons her name has been associated with controversy for an extended period.
And that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
Tiffany Henyard, if you haven't heard, has become the center of one scandal after another in Dolton, Illinois, a small village with just over 20,000 residents. Some have even labeled her the worst mayor in America. And it's not hard to see why. She's been accused of misusing taxpayer money for personal luxuries, lavish trips to Vegas, first-class flights, luxury cars, and even unsolicited street parties. And now, as if all that weren't enough, she's on the brink of losing her home due to an eviction case. The irony is almost unbelievable. A politician allegedly living large but unable to pay rent. It's a situation that feels straight out of a surreal drama. According to court filings, Tiffany and her associate Kamal were notified about their overdue rent on September 18th and given 5 days to either pay up or move out. It appears they failed to meet the deadline, and now they're scheduled to face an eviction court date on October 22nd. Not only are they at risk of losing their home, but they'll also have to explain to a judge why they haven't paid rent for 3 months. And here's where things take an even stranger turn. Details that make this story even more bizarre are yet to unfold. The situation raises serious questions about accountability, priorities, and the stark contrast between public service and personal conduct. As the drama continues, Dolton residents are left wondering how much more they'll have to endure under Henyard's controversial leadership.
Motion to terminate, Chief.
Tiffany's attorney has stated that the eviction proceeding is predicated on false pretenses. However, the question arises, what precisely constitutes false pretenses in this context? Are they saying that Tiffany and Kamal fulfilled their rental commitments, although the landlord bungled the payments? Or are they contending that no lease arrangement was ever established? Regardless, contradictions exist. As one reader highlighted, a landlord would undoubtedly be aware of an absence of 3 months' rent, as tracking such payments is relatively trivial. This position has left many bewildered, as Tiffany, earning $300,000 annually as the mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Dolton Township, should apparently be financially stable. Additionally, Kamal Woods is apparently earning $100,000 per year, bringing in a considerable combined income. How on earth can you go behind on rent? We're not talking about a fancy mansion here, it's an average property with rent little over $1,100 a month. You'd think they'd have no issue paying that. There is a common opinion indicating that Tiffany is overwhelmed with obligations, including her position as mayor and her function as township supervisor, which may hamper her capacity to handle her funds properly. However, this rationale is insufficient given her large salary. Some argue that she may simply lack financial acumen. Additionally, there are reports that Tiffany may not truly reside in the house in question, prompting further suspicions that the property could serve as a front for ulterior intentions. Malevolent one rumor gaining popularity is that the residence might be a base for illegal activities. And here's the kicker, the eviction lawsuit alleges that the landlord has been stopped from performing inspections on the property. Now we all No landlords normally have the right to check their properties, especially if it's spelled down in the lease. So why would Tiffany and Kamal be stopping these inspections? What?
No, he's not employed by us. So you have got just this giant.
Given the numerous allegations surrounding Mayor Tiffany Henyard, it's understandable that suspicions have arisen about potential illicit activities associated with her residence. Her tenure has been marred by controversies, including accusations of extravagant spending of public funds. Reports indicate that Henyard's administration spent over $100
Who has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dolton, Illinois, is currently entangled in a series of legal challenges that have raised significant concerns about her leadership. Public records indicate that the village has been named in 48 lawsuits during her tenure, addressing issues from financial mismanagement to personal disputes. One notable legal matter involves an eviction lawsuit filed by her landlord, Janetta Hull. Hull alleges that Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, have failed to pay rent since August 2024, accumulating over $3,300 in arrears. Despite Henyard's public denials of these claims, official court filings substantiate the landlord's assertions. In a separate incident, Henyard and Woods are defendants in a federal lawsuit following a physical altercation at a Thornton Township meeting on January 28, 2025. Activists Jedediah Brown and Lavelle Redmond allege that they were attacked after expressing criticism during the meeting. The lawsuit accuses Henyard and her associates of violating First Amendment rights, battery, assault, negligence, and emotional distress. These legal entanglements have intensified scrutiny of Henyard's administration, prompting residents and officials to question her leadership and the village's governance practices.
Voices, but those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making.
Concerns about Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration have intensified due to her association with Kamal Woods, her boyfriend, who has been implicated in the mismanagement of a youth grant project. Woods, appointed to lead an at-risk youth program in Thornton Township, faced allegations of financial mismanagement and unethical decision-making. These concerns culminated in his termination by the township trustees in early February 2025. Further scrutiny arose from a Freedom of Information Act request, which revealed that since her appointment to the township board in 2022, Henyard received $316,000 in salaries and other payments. Additionally, records indicate she obtained substantial reimbursement checks, though specific details remain undisclosed due to a lack of response from the township's Freedom of Information officer. These revelations have led to increased skepticism regarding the administration's financial practices and the potential misuse of public funds.
I handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting, I do not handle it.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
Concerns have intensified regarding the financial management of a youth grant project overseen by Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her associate, Kamal Woods. Recent disclosures have highlighted irregular payments to individuals such as A.I. Harris, who reportedly received over $3,400 despite a part-time role. The exact nature of this compensation remains ambiguous, with records failing to specify whether these amounts are monthly salaries, project-based fees, or other forms of remuneration. Additionally, Anthony Butler was documented receiving 2 separate payments of $33,000 within a single month. The lack of clarity surrounding these transactions raises questions about their legitimacy and the actual allocation of funds intended for youth programs. The financial records associated with this project are notably opaque, containing vague entries without clear descriptions or justifications for the expenditures. This absence of transparency has led to growing suspicions that funds earmarked for youth initiatives may be diverted elsewhere. Given the gravity of these concerns, there is speculation that federal authorities, such as the FBI, might be investigating these potential financial improprieties.
Appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1990.
Public sentiment toward Mayor Tiffany Henyard has grown increasingly critical amid her ongoing financial controversies. One observer remarked, "She doesn't pay bills unless taxpayers pay," reflecting a widespread belief that Henyard misuses public funds for personal expenses. This perception is fueled by reports of her extravagant spending of taxpayer money, including lavish trips and festivals, even as the village faces significant debt. Another theory suggests Henyard might be intentionally portraying financial hardship to deflect embezzlement accusations. A commentator speculated, maybe she's doing this to make it look like she hasn't been stealing all this money. This perspective arises from reports of her facing eviction due to unpaid rent, despite allegations of misappropriating public funds. These discussions highlight the complex and contentious nature of Henyard's financial dealings, as public trust continues to erode in light of her legal and ethical challenges.
Shameful! Y'all are a disgrace!
We're watching her fall.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dolton, Illinois, has come under intense scrutiny for her extravagant use of public funds amid the village's financial crisis. In August 2024, Henyard organized the Taste of Thornton Township, a one-day event featuring R&B artists Kiki Wyatt and Jay Holiday, which cost taxpayers over $135,000. The event saw low attendance, leading to criticism over the excessive expenditure. Further investigations by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot have uncovered alarming financial mismanagement within Henyard's administration. Lightfoot's report revealed that Dolton's general fund deficit has ballooned to approximately $365 million, with no annual audits conducted since 2021. The village incurred $779,000 in credit card charges in 2023 alone, including a single-day expenditure of over $43,000 on Amazon purchases. These findings have intensified calls for accountability and raised serious concerns about the village's financial stewardship under Henyard's leadership.
Rest of things as the supervisor, there will be no comments, there will be anything, it will be me addressing you guys.
The million-dollar question remains. Will Tiffany Henyard manage to maneuver her way out of this latest crisis, or is her time finally up? Will the truth about her financial dealings come to light, or will she find yet another way to spin the narrative in her favor? What do you think? Could her eviction and financial troubles be the final straw for her controversial career? Or is this just another chapter in her long history of scandals? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Because one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Stay tuned as the drama continues to unfold.